In Ohio, a seemingly normal American family is actually a cover for Russian spies. Alexei Shostakov, the super soldier Red Guardian, Russia's answer to Captain America, and Melina Vostokov, a seasoned Black Widow spy, are posing as parents to young Natasha Romanoff and her sister, Yelena Belova. They're stealing intel from S.H.I.E.L.D. when things go south. They escape to Cuba, where their boss, the ruthless General Dreykov, head of the Red Room program, takes the girls for brutal training. Yelena's excited to return, but Natasha's heartbroken, torn from her fake but happy life. She doesn't want back into that nightmare. Fast forward years later, Alexei's thrown in a Russian prison. Natasha defects to S.H.I.E.L.D. after bombing Dreykov's office in Budapest, supposedly killing him and his young daughter, Antonia. But we know that's not the end. Jump to 2016, right after Captain America Civil War. Romanoff is a fugitive for violating the Sokovia Accords. She escapes from U.S. Secretary of State Thaddeus Ross and flees to a safe house in Norway, supplied by Rick Mason, who's got a bit of a crush on her. Meanwhile, Yelena, now a grown Black Widow assassin, takes out a rogue widow but gets exposed to a synthetic gas. It neutralizes the Red Room's chemical mind control. Turns out she's been brainwashed all along. She rips out her tracker, sends antidote vials to Natasha, hoping she and the Avengers can liberate the other widows, then vanishes into hiding. Natasha's driving cluelessly with the vials when, bam, Taskmaster, a masked Red Room agent, attacks her car. Natasha escapes, realizes the vials are from Budapest, picked up by Mason, and heads there. She reunites with Yelena, who drops the bomb. Dreykov's alive, and the Red Room's still churning out mind-controlled assassins. They fight off more widows and Taskmaster, then link up with Mason for a helicopter. Yelena explains the antidote came from a widow like Melina and rages about Dreykov killing countless girls. Only 1 in 20 survives training. The rest are disposed of. The program's gotta end. To find Dreykov, they bust Alexei out of prison. He's been locked up by Dreykov for reasons he doesn't even know. He's thrilled to see his daughters and points them to Melina, living on a farm near St. Petersburg. She's perfected the mind control chemical they stole from S.H.I.E.L.D. way back. Yelena confronts her. That stuff controlled me until the antidote freed me. But Melina tips off Dreykov, and his goons swarm in. Natasha convinces her to switch sides by revealing how her research has doomed countless Soviet girls to death and suffering. They use face mask technology to swap places. Natasha disguises as Melina. Everyone's captured, sedated, and flown to the Red Room, a massive, floating fortress in the sky. Inside, Melina frees Alexei and Yelena. Dreykov unmasks Natasha and reveals Taskmaster's identity. Antonia, his daughter, scarred from that Budapest bombing. He implanted tech in her head to save her, turning her into the ultimate mimic warrior. She copies anyone's fighting style just by watching. Natasha can't strike Dreykov because of a pheromone lock in all widows, but she smashes her nose, severing the nerve to break free. Alexei fights Taskmaster. Melina sabotages an engine. They lock Taskmaster away. Dreykov bolts as widows attack Natasha, but Yelena blasts them with antidote, snapping them out of control. Natasha downloads global widow locations from Dreykov's computer as the place explodes and plummets. She grabs 2 antidote vials and frees Taskmaster. Melina and Alexei escape in a plane, but it loses control, no way back to help. Yelena destroys Dreykov's escape craft with a pole, killing him, but the blast hurls her off the edge. Natasha parachutes after her in free fall. They land safely. Natasha antidotes Taskmaster, gives Yelena the other vial and the widow data to free the rest worldwide. The family, Yelena, Melina, Alexei, Antonia, and the freed widows, says emotional goodbyes and splits. 2 weeks later, Mason hooks up Natasha with a Quinjet to bust out the jailed Avengers.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.